Hey guys, wanted to tell you about how KRATOM changed my life. Let me start with 7 years ago. I went to the doctor in a ton of pain, and I found out that I had arthritis in large parts of my body and bursitis in my shoulder. They wanted to start me off on all sorts of medications, so we started the medications, and every month or so we changed the medications because they're just not working, and one thing led to another, and next thing you know, I'm on some pretty heavy medications, but they weren't narcotics just yet. And in that interim, I had gotten an infection on my hand and started running 106 fever, and got antibiotics for it and from the hospital, and I was at home from work a couple days with I think at the time it was actually 104 or 104, and my wife was pretty upset and said I kept insisting I go to the hospital, and jokingly I said once it hits 105, that's when I'll go to the hospital. And after 4 days of 104 fever and taking Tylenol every 2 hours around the clock to try to keep the fever down, fever spiked to 106. So she rushed me to the hospital, and that's when we went in and they took my temperature. It was 106.7, I believe, and the nurses were freaking out, and they started running tests, and they came in and told me that my liver was about to fail, that I had poisoned myself with Tylenol, and I didn't even know that that was a thing. Here all my life I thought Tylenol was for headaches and fevers, and that it was supposed to help you, and instead it almost killed me, and it very near did, came very close to killing me. The nurse said had I remained doing this for one more day, I probably would not have survived it. So they kept me in the hospital for about 4 or 5 days and got all my blood and my liver all back to a suitable way that they could send me home. And when I saw the doctor about all the other medications, he quickly said that we can't be taking any of those because my liver's not strong enough, and it's going to be months before I can go back on any of those medications. So he said the only thing that I would be able to take was a straight oxycodone, I believe it was. And at first that was working, and trying to take it as prescribed and not let it become a problem, but it doesn't work out that way. I don't care who you are, how hard you try, your body builds up a tolerance to it, so you have to take more, and then becomes a problem where you run out of your prescription and then it won't refill it, and then you're going to be sick for a few days before the end of the month, and man, that just became a huge problem. And I had a business to run, and I needed to be on my A game, and it was hindering that. And I got upset with all that, and as time went on, because my tolerance was building, he stepped me up, and before I knew it, I was on the patch for my pain. And although that was working, and it kept me going at work, and pretty much it was working, it still was causing a problem in my life. It was destroying my health, it was destroying my love, it just was destroying me from the inside out. And I knew I had to stop, so I kept begging the doctor to let's wean me off of this crap, and I made several attempts to do that, and it was just horrible. And with all of my heart, I wanted to get off that crap, and I wanted to get away from it, but it was brutal. It dug its claws into me. It was destroying my life. So I was researching online and see if I could find something that God made that was natural, that would help change this addiction and bring me back to the person that I knew I could be. So I found this thing online called KRATOM. Researched it, and it was the first 15-20 minutes after we had drank it, we both realized that, wow, it was working. Some amazing stuff. So we started scouring the internet to find all the good and bad about KRATOM, and we saw, a mix, 50-50. 50% of the people would say KRATOM was amazing, 50% of the people would say KRATOM was harmful, because there was a few people that had some problems with it, yet they approved Tylenol. Tylenol almost killed me, but yet their stamp of approval is on the bottle saying it's safe for the public. So let's Google how safe Tylenol really is. Okay, so don't take my word for it. Let's ask Google. Okay, Google, how many people died from Tylenol last year?
Here's a summary from The Atlantic. In fact, that figure's actually a fairly conservative estimate. Time reported that closer to 500 people die in the US from overdosing on acetaminophen, with another 55,000 to 80,000 ending up in the ER for the same reason.
500 people die a year just in the US alone from Tylenol. Another 55,000 end up in the hospital, like this guy, almost dead from Tylenol. Okay? Now let's try Advil. Okay, Google, how many people died from IBUPROFEN last year?
Here's a summary from Bangor Daily News. It has been known for some time that these drugs, called nonsteroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, or NSAIDs, have serious side effects and are a major cause of drug-induced injury. They are estimated to cause at least 16,000 deaths per year.
16,000 deaths per year! Hey, let me get some Advil for my headache. Because when I'm dead, my head's not going to bother me anymore.
That's all, folks.
Okay, Google, how many people died from KRATOM last year?
According to National Institute on Drug Abuse, there have been multiple reports of deaths in people who had ingested KRATOM, but most have involved other substances. A 2019 paper analyzing data from the National Poison Data System found that between 2011 to 2017 there were 11 deaths associated with KRATOM exposure.
11 deaths in the past 9 years, and they were not directly caused by KRATOM. People had been taking KRATOM that died, okay? But 500 people died last year from Tylenol, and that's okay, I guess. It says you should buy Tylenol.
They are estimated to cause at least 16,000 deaths per year.
16,000 deaths per year! I'm sorry, but Tylenol almost killed me, and I've been using KRATOM now for 7 years, and I have not had any negative side effects from KRATOM. It's completely changed my life. It's completely got me off prescription medications. I take it on a daily basis, and I wouldn't be making this video if it hadn't been the fact that I've been taking it for 7 years, and I have absolutely no side effects from it whatsoever.